Good evening. Good evening. Um, my name is Shaitan McQuarrie, man. I wanted to introduce myself to you guys. I'm going to start doing some streaming here, going live and creating some content and whatnot. Um, reason being is, man, I got a story to tell, and there's other, just topics out there in the world that I want to talk about. Just growing up and things dealing with currently parenting, parents, family, friends, relationships, all those type of things. Um, So, like I said, there's a lot of things I just want to talk about, but I just wanted to let you know who I am and some of the topics I'm going to talk about and why relevant to talk about them from my point of view, because everybody, ain't been through what I've been through, and I haven't been through, a lot of things that you guys have been through. But the topics that I do touch on is going to be things I feel like I can speak upon. So during this time, people probably chime in to have their opinions and those type of things, and may have some questions for me. Shoot, some of the things I might say may even help somebody. Might have give some better understanding to something, and then hey, some of the feedback from you guys can give me some better understanding of topics that we talk about too. But anyway, I'm from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I'm 43 years old, was born in 1976. Um, my parents are Lisa McQuarrie, whose maiden name was Lisa Maupin. My father's Jerry McQuarrie. Um, my mother is no longer with us. She unfortunately got taken out of this world in like 1995. Um, that was right during high school, man, for me. Um, well, it was 94, 95 area. It was it was Thanksgiving Day, matter of fact. And so I'll talk about that too. How Thanksgiving up until here recently just wasn't a good day for me. Um, anyway, my parents met here, moved to San Diego, California. Um, at that time, things went on. We'll touch about that too. They separated. Mom moved back here to Oklahoma. Since then, I was with my mom. A lot of things happened with mom. We'll touch on that too. You know, had a pretty troublesome upbringing, should I say? Been through a lot of stuff, man. As far as a kid, my mom ended up being strung out on drugs. Very beautiful woman. She was in the limelight a little bit. Um, my dad, um, just dealing with stuff on his own. He was trying to figure it all out. Um, Choices that I don't feel were great, as a youth, but I forgave my father for, as of today, I mean, people are people. I mean, basically they babies trying to raise a baby, you know what I mean? When you're young like that, you just having, kids, you trying to figure life out yourself. Um, but me, myself, man, like I said, deal with parents separating, different lives with different parents. I've ended up in foster care. Mom was out on drugs. We was out on the streets. We've lived in shelters, been homeless as a young kid, those type of things too. I ended up in a boys' home. I was there for going on almost 5 years. There, it's called Boys Ranch Town. We'll touch on that a little bit later too. Um, Life. Me myself, I have four kids and by four different women. You know, um, it wasn't. It's crazy how that came about too. It wasn't like I was just out here hoeing at that time, but there were some times that hey, I was out there, I was being, promiscuous. But when that stuff came on, you know, I wasn't expecting that time, but it was a time where I guess it was just like, hey, boy, slow down. You know what I'm saying? This is what's going on. So we'll touch on that too. Baby mama. Some. If there's baby mama drama, if there is or isn't, how, you know, how to maybe get past that too as well. My kids are older now. So I still got one young one. I mean, Shiloh, that's my baby girl. Uh, but dealing with kids and different, type of things, different, how should I say, emotions and personalities and all those type of things, and finances. I've been a single father raising a child by myself. We'll touch on child support, all those type of things, you know, throughout these streams that I have, man. Like I said, man, my upbringing wasn't the greatest, you know, but there were some changing points in my life that got me to where I am now. In my thought process, and I hear a lot of people talk about, hey, man, you need to, like, man, that stuff happened a long time ago. This, and that. Well, if you've learned anything in life, what has happened to you as a kid, a teenager, young man, all that kind of stuff shapes the person that you are today. And if you try to, I say, just block that out and not, come to the realization of it and deal with it and maybe channel that energy in a different way, it can really fester and, and mess you up. I mean, especially when it comes to relationships, and that's with, personal relationships, family, all those type of things. We don't talk about it as enough, especially as Black men. We really don't talk about that, a lot. It's a it's a stereotype that we got to be tougher than the average. In cases we do, and there's a lot of things, but when it comes to our kids and relationships, um, it's hurt us in a lot of in many aspects. It really, really has. And on the same token, the women of our culture, it's hurt them, and there's been walls put up. What I'm saying, barriers there, and it's been tough. And at some point, we got to learn how to, break those barriers and those type of things. I mean, we're gonna, I want to touch on a lot of things. So, you know, um, I feel I'm relevant to talk about a lot of things that I've been through, because they're personal for me. And if they were affected you guys in some way, then hey, it just, can maybe help. What I'm saying, maybe shed some light on some things and of that nature. Um, but like I said, this is just an introduction, just to tell you who I am. And that's just a very, very brief description of who I am. But I hope that during these videos that I make, like I said, that I can get some feedback and, give you guys some feedback. We can talk about some things and maybe, get some clarity on some things. I have several opinions on different things out there. I have ways of looking at things that may not always be the quote unquote, um, the way that society views them or what they deem, is worthy or, to, or whatever. But you like saying, we'll figure all that stuff out. But anyway, man, I hope to connect with a bunch of you guys. Some of the content that I'm going to talk about is going to help out. It's going to be with kids, so it'll be, I say, so somewhat kid friendly. Some of it's not, and I'll try to make sure that I click on that deal here that says, hey, adults only, or whatever, when I have those videos or whatnot. But again, man, I just want to introduce myself, Shy-Tom McQuarrie from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Look forward to speaking with you guys later and talk about some topics. See you later.